Hello, everyone, and you're very welcome to Tuesday's Man United Agenda. I'm joined, of course, by Mr. B and Stuart Marshall. How are we doing, lads? We're going to get our teeth into those damn Glazers. I'll tell you what, a bit like the team, I want this story to take me home and have it end. This has been a longer saga than Frankie de Jong last summer. But gentlemen, you are very welcome. We are going to have a lot to say about the Glazers and their latest development in the Manchester United takeover. But before we continue, there is the small matter of these wee muggies right here, the Man United Agenda official merch. You can get your own on, as displayed by Stuart, Mr. B, and myself, on the website on screen, and they will get you hooked up. You can pick your own player, and we currently do have a Team Rebel versus Team OMONDI competition going on in the mugs. I am, of course, ripping for Team Lecha, the butcher. He, misguidingly enough, is still ripping for Team Harry Maguire. So, if you're Team Rebel, spout those hashtag Team Rebels in the chat. If you're Team Maguire, spam those hashtag Team OMONDIs in the chat. We will be very interested to see which side of the fence you lie in. But gentlemen, there are 10 people in the chat. Obviously, they're eager to know what's going on with the takeover. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Today, we had the announcement that a third round of bidding is going to take place for Manchester United Football Club. This round of bidding will be open until the end of April. A further delay of a month approximately to the original specified date by Rain that they would conclude the takeover process by end March. At this stage, it seems like the Glazers are dragging heels and dawdling and looking for every sort of way to maximise every last cent out of Manchester United Football Club. But I'm going to start with you, Stuart. In a position where Manchester United have had bids of approximately £5.5 billion from reportedly Sir Jim and the Qatari bid, and they want, we'll say, in the region of 6 to 6.5 billion, would you not, as a credible businessman at that point, kind of go, okay, we have 5.5 on the table, we're at 6.5. Go back, say to the bidders, listen, lads, we see your bid. We want this. Come back in 24 hours with your proposal and accelerate it until you reach a point of, yeah, we can live with that.
Yeah. Well, the Glazers are holding out for 6 billion. We all know that. Sheikh Jassim? He's obviously got the money, so I can't get why they don't just come in. I know there's a third round of bidding starting, like you said, Rebel, but just come in and put that 6 million bid in and get them parasites back to where they belong. Because we're not just me, we're all bored of it now. We've had enough. It's going on for so long now, years and years and years. When's it all going to come to an end? Who knows? Hopefully soon, but I can't see it, to be honest, Rebel. But there you go.
Very true. Mr. B, logic has never been the strong point of Joel and Avram Glazer. We've once had the most pristine stadium in world football, the envy of all in England. And now our beautiful old girl has been kicked, she's been bruised, she's been battered, and she's been abused. And God knows how much work is going to be needed to get her fighting fit and back to being the crown jewel of English football. If anything was to stand as a testament to the absolute negligence of the Glazer family, I think OldTrafford would be that shining beacon showing that. But what do you think at this stage is it going to take to get them out of Dodge?
It's going to take 6 million, but like everything else, he's got the 6 million. We know they've got the 6 million, but why should he pay 6 million? You always want to try and come in lower, and hope that they kind of meet somewhere in the middle. Now, we said in the beginning we knew it wasn't going to be a quick one. You know, we did a couple of shows, and I know a lot of people in the chat were saying, "Oh, summer, we'll be able to buy this person, that person, that person." It was never going to be a quick process, and now we're all hearing that it's going to be a lot longer than any of us hoped. I mean, there's greed, and there's I don't even know what the word is higher than greed, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. They never put any of their own money in. You would think that, all right, you know, you ask for 6 billion. All right, look, 6 billion. To us, it's noughts on paper, but you ask for 6 billion and you'll take 5. You know, but it looks like they actually want to get the 6 billion. Now, does that include the 1 billion that they've just announced that we're in debt? So that's 6 billion plus the 1 million plus the 1 billion that they owe. So that's 8, plus the stadium, plus the training ground. And I'm hearing that they've just started work on
an annex for the ladies.
Yeah, an annex for the ladies. So is something going on behind the scenes now where they're thinking, all right, as I said to you, Rebel, when we did it, if we keep winning, I think they're gonna want to fucking stay. Yeah. They're gonna want to be part of that. Oh my God, Man United are back to this, and they've still put no bloody money in. It's because we've got a genius bloody manager. You know what I mean?
I think, Stuart, just to touch on what Mr. B has said, for the start of the Glazer tenure, a lot of their deficiencies and a lot of their wants were kind of tempered by the fact, notwithstanding the fact that we have one of the greatest managers that we've ever seen in Manchester United Football Club, they had a stalwart in Mr. Gill running a tight ship on the football side of things. And he was tempering any sort of shenanigans that they wanted to try and put forward. But I think that as much as the retirement of Fergie hurt us, Gill walking out at the same time probably was the worst thing that could have happened to us.
Just as bad, yeah, exactly. Just as bad, Rebel. But like just touching on what Mr. B said, it's not just the 6 billion for the club. It's the billion debt. It's the billion or so it's going to cost to restructure or rebuild Old Trafford, the training facility. So you're probably talking 8-9 billion before we even started scratching the surface, aren't we?
Very true. And not to mention, I saw a report today, and we will be touching on the summer window shortly, that there's a list of 13 players that they want to move on from the playing squad, which is what is it, a 26-man squad that we're allowed register for the Premier League? That's 50% of your squad, essentially, that they're looking to shift. But I want to touch on next. Obviously, we know that the second round of bidding ended at the end of March. And for 2 weeks, the main bidders, or any of the bidders, have been left in silence, not knowing what was going on in the process. Surely, with a group like Rain administering to the takeover process, that they would be able to see, just from looking at the bottom line, whether or not it's in the ballpark of Mr. Joel, Mr. Avram. We have 7 billion from the Qataris. Let's rock on up, shake their hand, and get out of here. Like, for all they say about, but we want to see your plans for the stadium development, we want to see your plans for this and that. I'm sorry, but I don't believe for a Scooby-Doo second that they give a monkeys about any of that happening. That is going to be for the remit of the new owners and for the fan base to finally put away their business degrees, put away their accountancy handbook, and actually get back to being what we really are, and that is football fans.
I mean, just quickly, Rebel, can you imagine if we go on to win the Europa League, go on to win the FA Cup, which is obviously very possible at the moment, we get that top 4, who's to say, hold on a minute, we're going to stay, we're only going to sell 70% of the club? Who knows? You know, they're not stupid, the Glazers. They're holding out for as much as they can get. Like I said, if we go on to win a couple more trophies, who's going to say, right, we want 7 billion? Who knows?
And it's a kudos thing as well. If you think about it, it's a badge of honor. Let's not get it twisted. Clubs like Man United aren't put on the market very often now.
No.
He goes around bragging, or people already know he owns Manchester United, the greatest club in world football. To us, and maybe to a lot of other fans, but to opposition fans, all right, maybe we're not. Maybe they think we're declining. But I tell you what, there's a lot of people out there shitting themselves if we get taken over, because think about the shirt sales. If you think about how much people don't buy shirts, there's going to be a massive boom. So whenever it comes, whoever does take it over, that initial 6-month period, they're going to come in, they're going to spend the cash. But guess what? Whatever shirt they buy, you know it's going to be sold out. Whatever shirt they make, whoever's on is going to be sold out, because everybody's going to be buying Adidas merchandise. So let's not get it twisted. They need to go for Adidas, for who the other shirt sponsors that we've got on. We have shirt. I mean, we haven't even got a shirt sponsor for next season. TeamViewer are pissing off at the end of the season.
Right. Pissing off,
That's actually technically not true. It's they only get out of their contract should Manchester United have another shirt partner. So they will be stuck for a further season if Manchester United can't complete a deal for another shirt sponsor. But you mentioned the away shirts and the the shirts and the uplift that there would be with the Glazer exit. And me and you talked about this privately, Mr. B. Adidas would definitely be already designing a green and gold away shirt for next season if Manchester United gets sold. It is the money shot. I just want to hit a few comments before we continue, gentlemen. I want to say hello to FDSN Column. I want to say hello to Ed Mayhem. And he's telling us, I hope they're ready for a massive kickoff if they don't sell. Getting games cancelled, stuff like that. And basically burn down the house is the mantra, I think, there. We have Redder Date saying, we need a new stadium, training facilities for youth and the ladies, plus the date in the club. 5.5 billion is more than what the club is worth. Brummy Reds is telling us Fergie saw coming and bait out the door as fast as his legs could carry him.
Yep.
And McKay's, I'm fine with the new owners not having the club till next season. However, I want them to pick a buyer this season. In other words, do not kill our window.
I mean, look, we'll next couple of subjects we'll go on so we can answer Emma's question. To be fair, but
absolutely, Vincent Bullock. I'm going, just waiting to hear if I'm going on Sunday. So I presume that is that he wants to go to a football match.
Forest away, isn't it?
Forest away. Yes, indeed. McKay saying, just sell the effing club for God's sake. It can't be that hard to say yes. Vincent Bullock, rumours going around that could be, don't even tell me about 6 rounds of bidding. I don't think my heart could take 6 rounds of bidding. FDSN column, the summer window is room. We'll come on to that column. And finally, for now, James Allen, I'm going to put this back up there for the moments. There's a sale now on the mugs from €12 to £10 for a limited time. So if you want your starting 11 in mugs, now's the time to do it, folks. Get on in there. Your Man United agenda mugs.
Before I go any further, I know I'm going to forget. Ed Mayhem, if you're still in the chat, I was talking to him Monday. Obviously, you know about this 45-minute game of football that we've got against the Scouse channel, our Cop Talk. Monday said you're interested. Was that a lie? Let me know. Solo, I see you in there as well. I know you're already doing your stretches because I know you're going to give me a good 45 minutes. So Ed Mayhem, let me know, big man. Sorry, Rebel.
No worries. Just a few more messages. 21 in the chat. Please do continue to like, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate you joining us on this Champions League Tuesday. The money that's going to be made for the Glazers is going to be like WrestleMania Pyro, never ending. And Emma saying, no matter how much success on the pitch, it doesn't matter, as everything else is shite. The price will not go up. So, lads, at this stage, we've now had the majority of the last decade screwed over by the Glazer family. We've finally got a manager since Fergie that looks like he's got a plan, that he's dialed in like Rashford in his mindset, and he wants to do things right on the football pitch. But there's now concern developing that the summer transfer window, due to the Glazers heaving and hoeing and huffing and puffing, and not kind of proactively going through the sales process, that our summer window plans could be in tatters. There's, as we said earlier, approximately 50% of a first team squad that they're looking to heave ho out of club.
Do you, Rebel, do you think that's actually... I mean, I know they've said 13 players. United can't sell shit, let's be honest. What's the most expensive? I'm sure the most expensive player we've sold has been Dan James.
No.
So let's not get it twisted. We're not very good at selling players. So the fact that we're looking to sell 13 players, I'm going to assume it would have been the Bailly, Teles. But apart from, I would like to think that they're going to make some money from somewhere, because we're talking about transfer chaos.
Sorry, there's big talk. I heard the other day that McTominay, they're going to demand at least 50 million for him.
Take it. Newcastle tried to do it with us with bloody Longstaff. So what goes around bloody comes around. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, what you have to remember, gentlemen, is you still have the likes of Henderson, Phil Jones. There's a load of players that are out of contract that are included in this exit list. So it's not necessarily 13 players which we will be getting tangible fixed asset money in for. It is a cumulative effect of players leaving that are out of contract, players that are retiring, players that, even if they were there until 3032, would not make it onto the starting lineup of Manchester United Football Club. A lot of these are low value assets that will yield very little in terms of transfer capital. But the more concerning thing is, we are now sitting here, coming up towards the end of April, entering the last 8-9 games of Premier League football, the last 2 games or so of FA Cup, and in the final stages of Europa. And at this juncture, the executive of Manchester United Football Club, those that are responsible for player contracts, for scouting, for making initial contact with clubs to buy players, do not know whether or not they are going to be the people charged with handling Manchester United's summer window. And the longer this goes on, the less time a new prospective owner, should the Glazer family finally relinquish control, will have to do their business. So could we end up with rapid fire panic darts throwing money at players because we will not have time to do the due diligence?
That was the longest question I have ever fucking heard, Rebel. I swear to God. Can I just say yes?
just
essentially,
quickly,
yeah, go on.
Just quickly, going back to players, does anyone know what Phil Jones is still earning a week? Because this shows what shambles the club is, that he's still there. He's not even
175.
He's not even trading.
What did you
175
say?
grand a week he's still on.
What did you say he's on?
175.
175 grand a week, Mr.
A week?
A week.
He hasn't kicked a ball. He's on 100. He can't be on that. He can't be on that.
He is.
Sorry.
I knew it was about 100 grand.
Jesus.
Here.
Terrible. 80K.
Mr. B, 80K.
That's still too much. That's still too much. He's taken a... Wow. 80K.
Shambles. Absolute shambles.
Wow.
But I suppose to summarise the question for you lads, essentially what we're talking about is an executive that don't know whether they're going to still have jobs. We're talking about getting closer and closer to that opening of the summer window. How likely is it with each passing month that we're going to end up making panic buys?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? Do you believe that? Do you know what? I'm going to be... I think Ten Hag has... he's showed a level of control at the club. I can't believe, or I can't see how, if Sheikh comes in, certain deals have been lined up already. I can't see, especially if Ten Hag wants them, because both whoever's coming have all said Ten Hag stays, which means that they're going to want to keep Ten Hag happy while he's here. I just can't see Arnold and whoever else he's working with, Murtoch, losing their job in the first year. I just think they would probably try and keep that continuity going, so that the deals can be done. Don't get me wrong, they might only last 6 months, but if they're lining up deals already, look, we're the rumour mill. Our club is the rumour mill. We're always linked with players. When we could do a show, for 4 hours on all the players we've been linked with every day. That's just the nature of the beast. But the fact that we're being linked with players that positions that we feel we need, strikers. We've been linked with five strikers. We've been linked with 6 or 7 proper central midfielders, and we're talking about losing our shit midfielders for good money. So I think that something is in the pipeline. I just hope that the club being sold late doesn't interfere with, all right, we're not going to spend 300 million, but if we're going to spend 150 million, make sure that 150 million is spent early, so that the rest of the season is. I'm living in dream world, I? I'm actually living in a dream world at the moment. But
this is the point, Mr. B, actually, and I'm going to throw this one to you, Stuart. Manchester United Football Club, as it stands, without being sold, has a very tight transfer budget.
Yep.
In order to make those acquisitions early, it would mean that we would have to be able to make those sales early. So even though there might be continuity in the executive, Manchester United Football Club is probably going to still be waiting for that influx of cash in order to be able to execute some of those transfers. And if you're a month into the window, chances are some of those players are off the board because other clubs who were capable of completing the deals have gone in for them. So even with the best, most organised will in the world, and Ten Hag given a full dossier of who and what he wants, without the takeover taking place, Manchester United Football Club is in a sell-to-buy situation.
But like I've been saying, if we get to the end of May, and we win the Europa, we win the FA Cup, we finish 3rd or 4th, we ain't going to have no transfer budget, because them Glazers are not going to sell for 6 billion. I'm telling you 100%. So, I love my club more than anybody, but part of me thinks, let's go out of the Europa League, let's go out of FA Cup, let's finish 5th. Then surely they've got to sell the club. But like I keep saying, if we get to the end of May and we've got another couple of trophies in the bag, it's just gonna be a shambles. The summer's gonna be a shambles. We're gonna be getting loan players, probably keep Weghorst. Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows?
Just want to say, Moss, I'm just magical. I can be omnipresent. I'm everywhere. I am inevitable. But, gentlemen, I'm going to kind of come towards the end of this. Mr. B is going to touch on some comments. I hope you were marking some of them at least in saying it.
I was too busy laughing, to be fair. But look, we've got one from Emma K. I think there's more of a plan this summer, hopefully. I mean, we're forever the optimists, let's be fair. I've got one from Guna Gumza here. Obviously, by the name Guna, you know what he's in. I hope to see you Friday on the takeaway. Let me know if you're still going to be on. He's saying that we don't need a takeover. It's just being greedy. What we want is our club run properly. That's what we want. And they're not. They're doing far from running it properly. We've got one from across the pond. Chelsea and then Man United throw away the most money. Chelsea are 1 billion in debt, ain't they?
They have leveraged their transfers over 8 years, essentially using a loophole that was in the contracts in the financial fair play.
Why did nobody else use it? Just out of curiosity. Everybody was up in arms. Oh, they're signing these players on. Why didn't anybody else do it?
We did. We're 300 million in debt to other clubs for our transfers because of the way that we structured our payments.
The Glazers knew that what they were doing then, didn't they? We've got one from our Mark Gemini. A few months ago, I got slaughtered for speaking about Jones, but my point as is his wages over the past 7 years is a transfer fee for a player. He should have been bombed out a long time ago. So I think Ollie kept him on out of sympathy because apparently he had the same knee injury that he had or something. I mean, that's the biggest load of shit if it is true anyway. We've got one from Emma K. Arnold and Murtock seem to be a bit smarter than Woodward. So I hope they've made a transfer plan. I think things are in place. I actually do think things are in place. We've got one from Solo. Right. I hope you're not saying Fred is shit, Mr. B. I am. So he's shit. He's shit.
I'll say it, yeah. You just reminded me. I sent this on to Solo earlier on. There was a account on Twitter that sells signed Manchester United jerseys, and Rashford was like £200. There was another player at 180, and then Fred was at the same tier as Weghorst, £80.
See, so really, his signature cost a £5 because you get the shirt for 70 quid, don't you? 75 quid. So yeah, look, see that,
Mr. B, you got to keep one. Fred or McTominay, who are you keeping? Fred.
The thing is, yeah, it changes game by game, but at the moment, as much as McTominay's done, I would keep Fred. I'll be honest. I would keep Fred. I think McTominay's ceiling is very, very. I mean, Fred's. Oh God, they're both so.
Hey, Fred's got 6 goals this season, Mr. B.
Yeah, but what's McTominay got? He must be on 5.
Yeah, is that 4 for Scotland though?
Good point. That's a good point. To be fair, I'm keeping Fred. If I had to choose, really, I think I would keep Fred.
Yeah,
gentlemen, I am kind of conscious of the fact that Champions League football is knocking on the door quite rapidly. I am just want to report on one final item from the takeover process. I'm already starting to see on the Twitter feed that there is talks of protests being lined up for the home game at Villa. So the fact that this delay has taken place has absolutely infuriated the fan base, and I'd imagine hell will have no fury should the Glazer even dream of staying at our beloved club. But gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Stuart Marshall, as always, great to have you on with us. Absolutely appreciate your contribution. But from us, for tonight, we have been the Man United Agenda, and do check out those mugs. But unlike Harry Maguire, we won't be on them.